a bit hazy, checking the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low. Gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Can we get this show on the road, guys? I think we shall. Emergency Management Associates is on the air. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 knot miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina, guys. We're here for you right now on the air. We appreciate everybody who's joined us here on the air with us. Thank you so much for being here, guys. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Now, guys, I understand that I'm very late. I had some problems with the car we had to address. The car is back on the road, but we still have to replace the alternator and a thermostat on the car. So, guys, if you want to help us and you have the means to do so, go to our PayPal locations that are scrolling across the bottom of your screen, and you can make a donation no matter whether it's $1 or more. We appreciate very much to have that with us so we can get this car back on the road and get the things done that we need to do. But guys, we appreciate you being here. Now, there has been an uptick in earthquakes in the Southern California area. I'm going to be quite upfront. There's been a big uptick in earthquakes in Southern California. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But the first thing I want to do is talk about what is going on with earthquakes around the world and the Pacific Northwest, what's going on in the Pacific Northwest in terms of the big storm that's going on there still. Big storm going on in the Pacific Northwest. It's unreal. Those of you that live there, whether it be Scooter Pie or, there's a bunch of you guys live there, including one of my cousins and one of our EMA family members over there in Oregon. You guys are still getting hit. The good thing is, right now, just right now, the good thing is this. The Cascade Mountains are getting snow. The Cascade Mountains are getting snow. That's the good thing about the whole deal. but that's going to add to runoff on the rivers as well. Okay, but it's not going to add up to runoff on the rivers right away. Yes, there's been some runoff as well, but the good thing is the height of the river has gone down. Okay, the rivers, except for I believe one in Scohomish, is the flood levels have gone down. That's a good thing. The levels of the river has gone down. Okay, we hope that continues. We do hope that continues, but it can't be guaranteed for long. There is going to be more snow on the way. There's going to be more rain as well. All of you need to be aware of that, guys. This is not going away anytime soon. Okay? There's more rain in the forecast. There's definitely more rain in the forecast. I'm going to tell you that right up front. There are flood waters all over the area. There are flood waters all over the area, guys. I'm not kidding. And damaging winds. Okay? There's been upwards of 100-mile-per-hour winds clocked around the areas of Washington, also some parts of Oregon. 100-mile-per-hour winds storming down the canyons. That's not good. That's not good at all. I'm going to be quite honest with you. It's not good at all. But this will taper down. We believe this is going to taper down. Now, when it's going to taper down, probably within the next few hours. The winds are going to calm down in the Pacific Northwest within a few hours. There are still going to be some gusts. There are still going to be some passes in the mountains throughout the Cascade Mountains that are going to be closed because of winds and snow. Okay? Some of the passes in the Cascade Mountains will be closed down because of winds and snow. More than 400,000 customers are without power in the Pacific Northwest as early as this afternoon, as damaging wind gusts and heavy rain hit multiple states following flash flooding that prompted evacuation orders in some states. The majority of the outages are in Washington, where 200,054 people are without power. 254,000 people without power in Washington. And Oregon, where nearly 136,000 are still without power. 254,000 in Washington and over 136,000 people in Oregon. Multiple rivers are above flood stage on Wednesday today. The Skagit River at Mount Vernon is expected to reach major flood stage on Thursday morning. And the Snoqualmie River at Carnation will near major flood stage by Wednesday evening tonight. The next round of heavy rain will inundate Oregon and southern Washington and northern California on Thursday and Friday. But I'm going to repeat that. The next round of heavy rain will inundate Oregon, southern Washington, and northern California tomorrow and Friday. At least one person was confirmed dead in Washington on Tuesday. We spoke about that last night, as flash flooding hit the Pacific Northwest. A 33-year-old male driver was removed from a vehicle that was completely submerged in water about 1:30 a.m. Tuesday morning. The driver died from apparently driving past road closure signs into an area that remained flooded. Okay? The vehicle left the roadway and entered a lower farmland ditch area containing approximately 6 feet of water. Upon arrival, deputies located the vehicle in the water. Fire rescue swimmers made contact with the vehicle and removed the driver from the car, according to the fire district. Life-saving measures were attempted, but the driver was pronounced deceased at the scene. There were no other occupants of the vehicle. At this time, it is unknown whether drugs or alcohol were contributing factors. Positive identification of the person that was passed on, as well as cause and manner of death, will be determined by the Snoqualmie Medical Examiner's Office. Now, guys, please don't do as this driver did by ignoring the road signs. If the road is covered with water, do not attempt to go across it. Okay? Turn around, don't drown. Turn around, do not drown. Okay? Don't ignore the barricades. Don't ignore the water roadway signs. If water is covering the roadway, I don't care whether you think it's only 6 inches deep, don't do it. 6 inches of water that's flowing over a roadway can knock somebody off their feet. 12 inches of water flowing across the roadway can, in and of itself, knock a car and float a car down the road, down the river. Don't cross it. An evacuation order and flash flood warning are currently in effect in the Pacific Washington area. On Tuesday, there was a levee breach on the White River. This comes after a separate levee breach in Tooele, a suburb of Seattle located in King County. That prompted a flash flood warning and evacuation orders on Monday. There's times of moderate to heavy rain that are forecast to move through Washington today and into Thursday and Friday, with widespread swath of heavy rain and some thunderstorms arriving late afternoon tomorrow evening. That's according to the National Weather Service. Wednesday, tonight, we will see snow in the mountains and drier conditions at lower elevations, according to the National Weather Service. Okay? There'll be heavy snow in the mountains, and the passes, they'll be covered. Some of the passes in the Cascade Mountains are already closed, and they won't be reopened for a while. They have heavy snow removal teams up on the passes all day today. All day today. So please, guys, if you live in the mountains or even down in the valleys and you want to go up the mountains, don't do it until the authorities give you an all clear. Don't go there. Don't go there. Hurricane Heather says they got some rain near Mount Shasta, and that's coming. They're coming to their area very soon. Okay? Be very safe, guys. Again, if there's water running across the roadway, turn around and don't drown. Turn around and don't drown. I'm just telling you. In Montana and some parts of Wyoming, there have been flash flood warnings and also blizzard conditions in other parts. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. Okay? In Salt Lake City, I just got off the horn with our buddy there in Salt Lake, just north of Salt Lake City. He's driving through Salt Lake now. Guys, they have some storms going through there as well. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. They've had snow and they've had rain in the past. That's going to continue for a while. Be very careful in the Wasatch Mountains as well. Okay? Be very, very careful. If you're driving through the deserts of Utah, Oregon, or even down into Nevada, be very careful. Some parts of the higher elevations will have snow. Other parts, you might even see some rain. Be careful. California, Northern California, you need to be very careful as well. Some parts of California, especially Northern California right now, into Southern California, will also see some rain. Okay? The mountains may see some snow as well. Any questions about that? Any questions? I want to make sure we answer any questions before we get off the air today. Okay? I've been in contact with the National Weather Service. I've been in contact with several emergency managers there in King County and other places. I want to make sure you guys are safe. That's above all my biggest concern right now. That's my biggest concern right now. Now I've got you all here. I want to give some thanks to you guys. Trish and Rich Killian sent us some Christmas presents that are now under the tree. Okay? We appreciate that. I want to thank some people here. Okay? One of our neighbors came over and dropped off some Christmas cookies. That was great. That was really great. They left us with a card as well. Linda Covington sent us a nice Christmas card as well. We love Christmas cards, guys. We love cards of all kinds. We appreciate that so much. Linda Covington says, "Dearest Ron and Carol, through EMA, you guys have shown so much love and care to thousands. Your prayers and advice continue to uplift and comfort and inspire. May 2026 bring you peace, health, and blessings. Wishing you a blessed holiday. Much love, Linda Covington. That's the inside of the card there. That's the outside of Linda's card. Linda, God bless you for that. Also, card inside the card there is about Jesus Christ. Notice a candy cane here. Remember that candy cane, okay? Look at the candy cane. What do you see? Stripes that are red, like the blood shed for me. White is for our Savior, whose sinless and pure J is for Jesus. My Lord, that's for sure. Turn it around and a staff, you will see Jesus, my shepherd, was born for me. Remember that. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card, Linda. Thank you very much. Also, we got a package from our buddy Dean over in England. We want to thank Dean and his girlfriend or wife in England. Dean, I don't know whether you're married or not, but we want to thank you for your beautiful card. The card is like this. All you know my loves for trains. All of you guys know our love for trains. Look at this. This card was made for us. Dean, I want to thank you for this card. It's a beautiful card. You guys did a great job. Inside the card, that. Again, I want to thank you for that. I love trains. Okay. To Ron, Carol, and family, good day. Have a lovely time. With love and prayers and blessings, Dean and Jasmine. Thank you, Dean and Jasmine. We appreciate it. Again, I want to thank you for that beautiful card. Well done. Well done. Thank you so much for that. Okay, guys, Southern California, look out. Look out. As we've said about Northern California is experiencing an uptick in earthquakes as well. Okay? It's experiencing a big uptick in earthquakes. Let's go over the USGS map. I want to show you this. This is important. I'm going to take down our webcam. I'm going to take down our banner here. I want to show you what's going on here. Okay, presently we are showing that earthquake off the southeast side of Kamchatka Peninsula here. Okay, right there. This is a 4.3 moderate earthquake here. South of there in the Kuril Islands here. Another earthquake here. Right there. Okay. This is a 4.7 moderate earthquake in just east of the South Kuril Islands here. The Kuril Islands belong to Russia here. Out here is a large earthquake. This is a 5.2 earthquake here. 5.2 earthquake, 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. This was a main shock. The 4.7 was an aftershock. We go further south between Hokkaido and Honshu, Japan. They've had another earthquake here. This came out as a 5.2. They subsequently downgraded this to a 5.0. Large 5.0 here. Let's back out here. In the Ryukyu Islands, south of Japan, this is a 4.7 earthquake. 4.7 earthquake. Further out here to the east, okay? This is out here in the Bonin Islands, just southeast of Japan here. In the Bonin Islands, southeast of Japan. This is a 4.3 earthquake. 4.3 earthquake. These earthquakes did not harm anybody. They're far enough offshore, but they did not do any damage. This earthquake right here. This is in the Pagan region of the Northern Mariana Islands. This is a 4.7 moderate earthquake here. This is a 4.7 earthquake out in the ocean. The ocean waters absorb the shock waves of this quake. Okay? By the way, this earthquake was 179 miles deep. 179 miles deep here. Okay? Let's go over here to Indonesia. Notice here in the Philippines, though, before we do, They don't have any earthquakes listed. Why not? There have been at least 4 earthquakes here in the Philippines. 3.2, 3.5, and 4.2 and 4.7 down here off of Mindanao, Philippines here. They're not even listed. Not at all. Those are moderate quakes. Down here in Indonesia, they've shown us 3 earthquakes here. This is a joke. There are 42 earthquakes here in Indonesia. They're showing us 3. Over here in north central Indonesia here, Gorontalo, Indonesia, they're showing this to be a 4.4 moderate earthquake here. 81 miles deep, shallow quake. Further down here to the southeast, in the Banda Sea, this is a 4.1 moderate earthquake near Ambon, Indonesia. 4.1 moderate earthquake here. That's 140 miles deep. Still a very shallow earthquake. This earthquake here, east of Java here in Timor, this is another 4.4 earthquake, 100.3 miles deep. Shallow earthquake here. Didn't harm anybody. Go further out here to Papua, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. They don't show any earthquakes, but there are a couple 4.5 earthquakes here. Unreal. Unreal. We go further out here into Vanuatu. In Vanuatu, this is a large 5.0 earthquake. Large 5.0 earthquake. 52 miles southeast of Port Vila, Vanuatu. Southeast of Port Vila, Vanuatu. Again, the Pacific Ocean waters absorb the shock waves of this quake. Okay? Let's go out here in the Fiji, right here. This is north of Fiji, 169 miles southeast of Ala Wallace Fortuna. This is a large 5.4 large earthquake. A large 5.4 earthquake here. This is out in the Pacific Ocean, far away from any islands. Nobody was hurt or even injured with this earthquake. The ocean waters absorbed the shockwaves of this quake. Okay? There have been earthquakes here in New Zealand. There have been earthquakes here in New Zealand, even a 4.5 earthquake over here near Auckland, New Zealand. 4.5 earthquake north of Auckland, New Zealand here. Again, the ocean waters absorbed the shockwaves of this quake. I don't think anybody on the island felt it. That's a southwest island of New Zealand. The northwest side of the South Island, north of Auckland. Okay? 4.5 earthquake there today. Nobody felt that earthquake. Okay? Let's go over here to Europe and Southeast Asia. Up here, this is northern China, a 4.5 earthquake here. Down here in the south, Pakistan, guys, 4.3 earthquake here. 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. We go over here to Turkey, southern Turkey. This is the 4.1 earthquake. 4.1 moderate earthquake. What they're not showing are 47 other earthquakes. 47 other earthquakes north of here, along the Turkey-Syria border. They're not showing the truthfulness of what happened here. All throughout this region, there are earthquakes. The earthquakes are aftershocks of a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that occurred on February 3rd, 2023, nearly 3 years ago. Aftershocks are still haunting this region. I want to say a great deal of the earthquakes are only tremors, fortunately. There are some minor 2.0, 2.9. There are also some small 3.0 to 3.9, and there are a couple 4.3 and 4.7 earthquakes here. All of these earthquakes are due to being aftershocks of the 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that happened here, again, February 3rd, 2023. We covered this earthquake. 5,000 people succumbed to their injuries. Another 5,000 were injured. 5,000 people passed, 5,000 people injured. We're still having earthquakes here. People still, every time an earthquake hits here, they feel it, people get scared. Is this just another beginning of another earthquake? Possibly. Possibly. We have had some moderate earthquakes here. We've also had some large earthquakes as of recent months and days. Everybody in this region must be aware that these aftershocks will continue for months, if not even years. They're going to continue. Going over here in Turkey, they're not showing any earthquakes in Turkey. Right up here in the northwest side, right in this area here, 200 earthquakes today. 200 earthquakes in this region today. Why are they not showing them? Again, why are they not showing them? Inquiring minds won't know. All over Turkey, there are probably 300 plus earthquakes here in Turkey alone. 200 plus over here in northwestern Turkey. That doesn't even account for all the earthquakes out here in the Aegean Sea here. Earthquakes here. See all these islands? They belong to Greece. All these islands in the Aegean Sea belong to Greece. There are earthquakes all over this area. Literally. Then we come over here to mainland Greece. 23 earthquakes here in Greece today. They're not showing not one. Not even one lone earthquake. That's pretty sad. Italy, like I've said, they're showing earthquakes all over the place, but not here on the USGS map. Heaven forbid, no. The United States government through the USGS doesn't want anybody to know what's going on. But again, I'm repeating what I'm saying here. I'm repeating all the research that I've been doing. This is Vesuvius volcano. Vesuvius volcano is steaming. Vesuvius volcano is preparing to erupt as well. Authorities here in Italy have been evacuating people already. Earthquakes magnitudes have been increasing. Earthquake magnitudes in this region have been increasing. No, we don't have any 4s yet, but we've been having 1.0 to 1.9. We've been having 2.0 to 2.9. We've had a few 3.0, 3.9 as well. The 3.0, 3.9 can be felt. They can be felt. This area is moving. We're going to watch for this time to erupt because it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to erupt, but it's going to erupt. Promise. Promise. Up here in north central Italy here, swarms of earthquakes continue to hit this area. 23 earthquakes here today. 23 earthquakes here in north central Italy today. They continue day after day. Just south of the Alps Mountains here, we have 1.2s, 1.7s, 1.8s, and 2.0s here. Going into the Alps, we have 1.2s, we have 2.2s, 2.4 earthquakes here. Going into Austria, Germany, Switzerland, and France, we're having some tremors here, and we're also having some minor 2.0 to 2.4 earthquakes here. All over here. Literally all over here. Europe is moving. Down here in Spain, we have about 7 minor tremors here. 7 minor tremors, and actually I believe we have a 2.2 earthquake right here. Right in this area right here. 2.2 minor earthquake there. Seismic energy is moving here. Seismic energy is moving here. In the last hour or so, this came out earlier. This is just south of Panama here on the Cocos Plate. This is a 5.6 large earthquake here. 5.6 very large earthquake here. Guys, this is only 6.4 miles deep. Just about 11 kilometers deep. 6.4 miles, 11 kilometers deep on the Cocos Plate here. Panama's had some minor earthquakes and some small 3.2, 3.4 earthquakes. Costa Rica as well. Costa Rica as well. We've had some earthquakes in Nicaragua and El Salvador here. Off the coast here of San Salvador. This is a 4.2 earthquake here. Also on the Cocos Plate. North of here, Guatemala's had some minor tremors. They've also had some 4.5, 4.7 earthquakes off and on the coast of Guatemala. Going over here into southern Mexico. Southern Mexico. They've had their share of earthquakes. From just south of Puerto Vallarta here, all the way down south into Oaxaca, Mexico down here. 48 earthquakes here. 48 earthquakes here in southern Mexico, guys. I kid you not. They're happening. What I believe is we are gearing up for a large earthquake here in Oaxaca, Mexico very soon. I believe that's what I see happening. Anytime we see an uptick in small and moderate earthquakes, that means a larger earthquake is coming. That only ties together the idea the larger earthquake is coming. So those of you here in Mexico, get prepared and get prepared now. A much larger earthquake is inbound here. Okay? Be prepared. Over here in the Gulf of California, some 4.2 and 4.7 earthquakes have occurred right here. Be aware of that. Be highly aware of what's going on. This seismic energy is going to move up into northern Mexico here and also up into California. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Over here, southwest of San Diego City is a town called National City. National City has a population probably 70,000 people. I spend a lot of time in National City. A lot of my police officer friends lives here in National City in Chula Vista. Guys, there's an earthquake here. This is a 1.8 tremor. 1.8 tremor here. This is along the harbor. This is along the harbor. This is at Naval Station San Diego. Naval Station San Diego right there. Okay. This is Pier 1, Naval Station San Diego. Okay. This is the main pier for ships. This is the main pier for destroyers and submarine tenders here. 1.8 tremor here, right underneath the pier here. Right directly underneath the pier here. Okay. I just want to show you that. Naval Station San Diego, National City. Now I'm going to show you earthquakes on the seismogram to show you what's going on here. The United States Geological Survey is not being honest with anybody. They're only showing a handful of earthquakes here, a relative handful of earthquakes. In Los Angeles alone, In Los Angeles alone, there are at least 400 earthquakes a day. At least 400 earthquakes today. I'm going to show you a lot of earthquakes here in the Los Angeles area, Los Angeles and Orange County. Notice this red earthquake. This just happened. This is the 1.4 near Lake Elsinore. That's Lake Elsinore right there. A 1.4 earthquake just northeast of Lake Elsinore. They have this northwest of Lake Elsinore. It's not. You can clearly see this northeast of Lake Elsinore. West would be over here. Okay? But what they're also not telling you is this. Right up here. This is Glen Ivy. This is Glen Ivy. I'm going to show you a seismogram from Glen Ivy. All kinds of tremors and all kinds of minor earthquakes and at least one or two 3.0 earthquakes here in Glen Ivy. Right here. Just north of Lake Elsinore. Just north of Lake Elsinore. They're not showing that here. They're not showing anything really. Absolutely nothing. Over here south of Corona. They're showing a 1.4 tremor here. 1.4 tremor. Further north here. This is over near Ontario, Orange County. This is not Orange County. This is San Bernardino County. This is a 0.8 microquake, San Bernardino County. Out here to the northeast, Fontana. They're showing you a 3.1 earthquake in Fontana. Only one? Really? Only one 3.1 earthquake in Fontana? In a few minutes, I'm going to show you multiple 3.1 earthquakes. I'm going to show you a lot more earthquakes happening here in Fontana than they're talking about. Only showing one 3.1 earthquake is ridiculous. As I said, Los Angeles is rocking and rolling. Not just one 3.1 earthquake, but multiple. And all kinds of other earthquakes happening. North of Fontana out here, Little Creek, California. That's a 1.4 tremor. 1.4 tremor. Guess what this is? Both of these earthquakes are just barely west of what? What are they just barely west of? The San Andreas Fault. The San Andreas Fault, guys. Not a joke. Not a joke at all. Just south of there, right down here, Redlands, California, also just west of what? The San Andreas Fault. From here, the San Andreas Fault goes all the way over here. Goes all the way down into Imperial County here. I'm going to show you a seismogram over here in North Salton Sea. North Shore Salton Sea. When you see that seismogram, you now know where it's at. The San Andreas Fault, otherwise known as the Imperial Fault, comes all the way down on the east side of the Salton Sea. Right here. This is where the San Andreas Fault goes underneath the Salton Sea here. This is Bombay Beach. Bombay Beach, guys. Wait till you see this earthquake, these earthquakes here at Bombay Beach. I'll show you a seismogram here. The San Andreas Fault goes underneath the Salton Sea. It comes out from underneath the Salton Sea over here in Calipatria, California. Wait till you see the seismogram here at Calipatria. There are anywhere from 75 to 100 earthquakes here in Calipatria today. Today. Incredible. Incredible. Now, I want to take you down here. This is a town called Westmoreland. Up until several months ago, we had a seismograph located here in Westmoreland. They shut it down. We are having earthquakes here in Westmoreland. earthquakes here in Westmoreland. We're having earthquakes here in Brawley. We're having earthquakes here in Imperial, the town of Imperial here. Having earthquakes here. We're also having earthquakes here in El Centro. Guys, I'm afraid we have somebody in the door. I'll be right back. Hold on. Just a minute. No. Quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Stay. Get that. Get that. Paper gives brothers honey. It gives brothers honey. Yes. Guys, I'm back. Guys, I'm back. I'm sorry to have stepped out for just a second, but we're back. I want to show you something. One of the friends of ours here, one of our friends of ours have beehives. They raise bees. And they brought us a pint of fresh honey. They brought us a pint of fresh honey. This is cool. This is cool. This is what they call sourwood honey. Sourwood honey. It's really tasty. And it's fresh. It's non-GMO. It's perfect. And we appreciate that so much. That pint of honey will go a long ways. That pint of honey will go a long, long ways. We appreciate that. Getting back to these earthquakes. I told you about over here in Imperial, just north of El Centro. We have 3.0 earthquakes here in El Centro. Approximately 23.0 plus earthquakes here in El Centro today. Let's go over here to Holtville. Guess what? What's happening here in Holtville? More earthquakes. I'm going to show you a seismogram here in Holtville also full of earthquakes. Okay? Like I said, Southern California hasn't had an uptick in earthquakes. As I've been telling you for years now, that Southern California has been an uptick in earthquakes for quite some time. It's gone up and down, but lately there's been a strikingly force of earthquakes here in Southern California. It's going to happen. It's ongoing. So let's show you earthquakes here in Southern California right now. Let's take down the USGS map and let's go to these earthquakes here. I want to show you this. And yes, this is important. Let's start over in Bakersfield. Bakersfield is on the San Andreas Fault. Look at this. The top line here is 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Pacific time. Okay? You can see tremors. All kinds of tremors here in Bakersfield. But what happened here? What happened on this black line here? Look at this. Over on the left-hand side, this will be 1300 hours. That's 1 p.m. We have a 1.8 tremor here in Bakersfield today. After, let me look at this. This is after approximately 1:08 p.m. today. 1.8. But what happened after 1:38? 1:38 p.m. we had a 2.0, 2.2 earthquake. Minor earthquake here. Minor earthquake here. Bakersfield. Usually in Bakersfield, we can see all kinds of tiny tremors. All kinds of tremors. Now today we have a 2.2 earthquake here. There's been an uptick in earthquakes here in Southern California. They're continuing. They're continuing. Let's go out to Channel Island. Channel Island. In the past several days, we've seen an uptick in earthquakes out here in the harbor of Los Angeles. Look what's happening here. Again, 4 a.m. here on the top line on the left-hand side. Tremors throughout the day. All kinds of tremors throughout the day. And then about 10 a.m. this morning, actually 8 a.m. this morning. Tremor increase, isn't it? This is good sized tremor increase here. What happened here? What happened here today? Just enlarge this so you can see what I'm seeing, showing you here. Just after 12:30, the blue line is 12:30 on the left-hand side. Let's come across here to the right. At about 12:39 p.m. this afternoon. 12:39 p.m. this afternoon, we have a 3.0 earthquake. Small 3.0 earthquake here on the island. On the island. Then after 1:15, we go over here to the right. This is approximately 1:23 p.m. this afternoon. This is a 2.7 earthquake. So we have a 3.0 and a 2.7 earthquake here. Again, we've had an increase in earthquakes here on Channel Island in the past. We've had 3.0 earthquakes here on Channel Island in the past. A seismic increase all over Southern California, literally. Literally. Okay, let's continue. Let's go over to the San Andreas Fault over in Cabazon. Cabazon. This is northeast San Diego County. Cabazon, California. Look at this. These are ongoing long-duration tremors. Ongoing long-duration tremors here. Look at that. The San Andreas Fault is moving here. Okay. Let's go over to the north, Lancaster, California. This is Fox Airport, Lancaster. The San Andreas Fault is moving here. These are nothing but tremors. But this is an increase in tremor activity here in Lancaster, California. Let's continue here. Let's go out into the desert of up here on the west side of the San Bernardino Mountains. Idlewild, California here. Again, this is on the San Andreas Fault. Look at all these tremors here. All kinds of tremor activity here. From 1.0 to, I want to say 1.2, 1.3 tremors here. Literally all day long. All day long. The only time there probably was just microquakes was after 4 a.m. this morning on the top black line. Microquakes up there, and then about 5 a.m. this morning, all of a sudden the tremors start here. The San Andreas Fault is moving. Okay? Let's go out to Joshua Tree National Park. Joshua Tree National Park. Before we had hardly anything going on. Up until today, we had almost nothing going on. Look what we have happening here. 6:47 a.m. here. 1.3, 1.4 tremor. But you can see all kinds of other tremors. 1.1, 1.2 tremors here in Joshua Tree National Park. All kinds of tremor activity again on the San Andreas Fault. Let's go look at Ranch Mirage on the San Andreas Fault. Look at this. This is definitely an uptick in earthquakes here on the Ranch Mirage area. This is an uptick in seismic activity in the Ranch Mirage area. It's moving. It gets bigger from here. It gets a lot bigger from here. Let's go over to Victorville, where our friend Isaiah's granny lives. Look at this. This is definitely an uptick in tremors here. Here in Victorville, we've seen minor earthquakes, and we also seen some small 3.0s before. We may see that again very soon. Uptick in seismic activity here in Victorville, California. Now, I want to take you over to the LA area. Casitas Dam. Casitas Dam. We have had hardly any activity here at the Casitas Dam area. Guess what? That changed today. Out of nowhere. Literally out of nowhere. We had a 2.8, 2.9 earthquake here this morning. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake just after 4:01 this morning. Uptick in seismic activity here. I don't think the last time we had this kind of earthquake was about a year or so ago. About a year or so ago. The earth is moving here, guys. The earth is moving here. Now, let's go out to Chino, out east to Chino. One of our dear friends, Art, lives out here in Chino. Here we have an uptick in tremors here again. We've had minor earthquakes here in the past here in Chino. I believe we're going to see those very soon again. You can see an uptick in tremors here, literally all day long. All day long since after 4 o'clock this morning. Those are continuing. There's probably 100 tremors here in Chino today. Tremors here and today. Yet USGS says nothing about it. Yes, USGS shows tremors all day long everywhere else. Not here. Let's go north of Los Angeles to Del Amo. Del Amo. In the past, we've seen an uptick in tremors and earthquakes here. That's exactly what we're seeing here today. North of Los Angeles, we're having tremors and we're having minor earthquakes. Tremors and minor earthquakes here for the most part. However, I believe we've seen some 2.9, 3.0 earthquakes here today. This afternoon. Look at the bottom black line here. On the left-hand side, this will be 12 noon. We come over here to the right. This is 12:07 p.m. today. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. Go over here to the right on the black line here. That's a 2.8, 2.9. 2.8, 2.9. 12, 11, 12, 12 this afternoon. On the blue line above it, we have a long duration earthquake, long duration minor earthquake on the blue line there. That's probably a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. That earthquake happened for about almost 45 seconds. 45-second earthquake there. Del Amo, California. Del Amo, California has seen 3.0 earthquakes here. I believe that's what we're working ourselves up to. North of Los Angeles City. Okay. Let's go over to Ellis, also north of Los Angeles City. Look at Ellis. The top line here at 4 a.m., we just see tremors. Then we come down here after 6:15 on the left-hand side. We come over here to the center right. 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes here today. Ellis, California. Nearly 3.0 small earthquake activity here in Ellis. It's going to happen here soon. For the most part, we have nothing but tremors and those few minor earthquakes here. Ellis, California. Wait, just see what we have to show you now. Fontana. USGS said there was one 3.0 earthquake. That's interesting. I see multiple 3.0, 3.1 earthquakes today. Here in Fontana, we have tremors. We have minor earthquakes happening all the time here. All day long. All day long. The first minor earthquake started at approximately, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5:32 this morning. 5:32 this morning, we're seeing 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes. Then look here. Let me enlarge it so you can see what I'm showing you here. Okay. Just after 9:30 this morning, 9:36, 9:37 this morning, we had a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Okay. That might have been a little larger than that. Then look down here after 1300 hours. 1300 hours is 1 p.m. on this blue line after 1:30. Let's go over here to about 1:36. I believe we had probably 3 minutes worth of shaking here. 3 minutes worth of shaking. Now I believe this is probably minor earthquakes there. 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes there. 3 minutes long. Then at 2 p.m. on the black line, we had some tremors, and again, we have 2.0 earthquakes here. Then we jump down to the green line, 2:45 this afternoon. Tremors until we get over here to 2:59. 2:59 on the bottom right-hand side of the green line. 3.0, 3.1 earthquake. Then another here on the black line. After 3, let's look here, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4:05 p.m. this afternoon. 3.0, 3.1 earthquake here. And multiple tremors and minor earthquakes here as well. Fontana, California is moving. We've seen multiple earthquakes here in Fontana before. I think we'll see multiple 3.0s coming here very soon. We've seen 3.5 earthquakes here in Fontana in the past few months. They're going to happen again. This is just west of what? The San Andreas Fault. It's happening. Fontana is moving. Let's go over to the south coast of LA, down here to Laguna Bell. Here at Laguna Bell, I think we have the same kind of tremors we've been having. Nothing really unusual to report. Tremors nonetheless at Laguna. Let's continue here. Let's go back northeast to Mira Loma, Loma Linda. Look at this. This is an increase in tremor activity here in Mira Loma, Loma Linda area. These are just tremors, but the tremors have increased immensely. The tremors are ongoing every second of the day. 1.2 to 1.5 tremors here all day long. All day long here in Mira Loma, Loma Linda. Then, let's go over here to Moore Park, north of Los Angeles. Here we're seeing tremors, minor tremors, 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, and minor earthquakes as well. One of the first minor earthquakes here was after 5:20 this morning, on the red line near the top, second red line from the top. 2.5, maybe 2.6 earthquake there. Minor earthquake nonetheless. Then we jump down 1, 2, 3, 4:30 this morning. 4:32 this morning, we have a 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. Then we jump down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7:35, 7:36 this morning. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake again. 7:35, 7:36 this morning. Then at 8:34 this morning. 8:34 this morning, we had another 2.6, 2.7 earthquake on the blue line. Then we jump down to the bottom red line here. Let me enlarge it so you can see what I'm talking about here. See that bottom red line? That is 2:15 on the left-hand side. Come over here to 2:19. 2:19 p.m. we had a 2.8, 2.9 earthquake again. Nearly 3.0 smaller earthquake energy here. Moore Park, California. We've had multiple 3.0 earthquakes here in Moore Park in the past. I think we're working up to that again. That's a lot of seismic activity north of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is moving. It's moving in a big way. Now, let's go over to Mount Wilson. Mount Wilson. This past summer, we had fires here at Mount Wilson. We had some tremors. The tremors are getting larger, and there's more of them. The tremors are getting larger now, and there's more tremors here than ever before. 1.0, 1.1, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 tremors here. Mount Wilson, California. Los Angeles. Good old Los Angeles. Let's go over to Part E. Look at the tremors and minor earthquakes here. Tremors and minor earthquakes 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, all the way up here until we get down here to the second black line from the bottom. Second black line from the bottom here. Okay? That second black line from the bottom on the left-hand side is 2 p.m. We'll come over here to 2:11. 2:11 p.m. today, we had a 2.9, 3.0 earthquake, Part E, California, Los Angeles. Los Angeles, guys. This is getting real. This is getting real again. We've seen 3.0 earthquakes here before. They're building up again. Let's go North Shore to let's go to North Shore, Los Angeles, over to Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey area, right here. Up at the top, all we have are 1.0 tremors here. 1.0, 1.1, 1.3 tremors here. All of them, all day long. Down here at the bottom, that's what they call abstract. That means nothing. Those bottom lines there are nothing but abstract. Trash. Trash there. All right. Let's go over to Rancho Palos Verdes. Rancho Palos Verdes, we've had nothing but tremors as of late, until today. Look at this. We're having some 1.3, 1.4 tremors. Over here in this red line in the center, right here, upper center right. 1, 2, 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4:15 this morning on the left-hand side. Come over here to the right. In the center here, we have, this would be 4:22, 4:23 p.m. 4:22, 4:23 p.m. today. No joke. 2.0 earthquake. 2.0 earthquake. That was after 8:22 p.m. or 8:22 a.m. I'm sorry, 8:22 a.m. Then another one. 9:26 p.m. or 9:26 a.m. today. 9:26 a.m. today. They're continuing, guys. They're not stopping. They're not stopping. Then we jump down to the bottom blue line, or not the bottom, but the second to the bottom blue line on the right-hand side. On this side, this is 1:44 this afternoon. 1:44 this afternoon. Another 2.0 minor earthquake. Palos Verdes. Now, guys, they have had a lot of rain in Los Angeles. They have had all kinds of rain in Los Angeles. This might be seismic energy here in Palos Verdes caused by rain. Seismic energy caused by rain. Earthquakes. Earthquakes. The ground is moving here. The ground is moving. Pcaific says there's a lot of shaking going on. You're absolutely right, there is. Rancho Palos Verdes has had nothing but tremors, now an uptick in earthquakes here as well. It's ongoing. It's moving. Let's go over to Rinaldi, also north of Los Angeles. Right here. Look at the earthquakes here. Yes, we have tons and tons of tremors here. Tons and tons of tremors here every second of every day. But guys, we are also having some 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 tremors. I believe we've also had at least a couple 2.0 earthquakes. A couple of 2.0 earthquakes here as well. Rinaldi's moving. That's an uptick in seismic activity. Rinaldi's moving. How about Rio Hondo? Look here in Rio Hondo. Look at this. Look at all these tremors here. This is also an uptick in tremors here. Literally every second of every day here now. It's ongoing. It's ongoing. Here in Rio Hondo, we've seen minor earthquakes here before. I think that's what we're going to see in the days forthcoming. Tremors here and minor earthquakes. Tremors, minor earthquakes. Let's go out to Santiago Peak. Santiago Peak is a bunch of hills tall in Los Angeles County. Santiago Peak is where they have television station repeaters and antennas. They also have some ham radio antennas that I've also been servicing here in past years. Look at all the tremors here. This is a tremor increase at Santiago Peak. This is a tremor increase in Santiago Peak. Ongoing. Ongoing. Now, let's go over to the University of Southern California, Los Angeles, USC. Look at this. Guys, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am, this is also an increase in tremor activity. And I also think they've also had some minor earthquakes here as well, but they're not showing it here. I think this seismogram has been altered. I think this seismogram has been altered because I've heard birds telling me they've had some minor earthquakes and even some 3.0 earthquakes here at the USC. Yeah. All they're showing are tremors here, but I've been hearing birds telling me they've had some minor earthquakes and some 3.0 earthquakes here as well. Okay? It's ongoing though. Ongoing. Let's go over to our volcano over east of Los Angeles. This is Walnut, La Puente. The cities of Walnut and La Puente, California. Look at this. Underneath these cities, we see a volcano here. The cities are sitting on top of the volcano. This volcano has not reared its ugly head. I shouldn't say that. This volcano has not erupted in years, hundreds of years. But look what we're seeing here. The tops and bottoms of most of these seismic signals here. The tops and bottom of these seismic signals have been cut off. As you can see here, most of this activity is 3.0 activity. But considering they've cut off the bottom of the top of each sequence here, these are large earthquakes. These are 3.5 and I believe even 4.0 earthquakes here in Walnut, La Puente. Walnut, La Puente. The people that I've talked to here have had not just ground movement. Their furniture, their chairs, their belongings in businesses and homes have moved across the floor. Moved across the floor. When friends of mine that have been sitting here in their cars, they have felt small shaking in their cars when they're just sitting there. Not violent, not even anywhere near that, but small shaking in their cars. These are 3.5, 3.7, 3.8 earthquakes. Small earthquakes in Walnut, La Puente, caused by magma down beneath the caldera, the floor of the volcano. This happens every day. This happens multi times a day. Probably upwards of 15 to 20 earthquakes like this every day. Every day, without fail. It's moving. This is showing an earthquake increase here as well. Demon Cadmus is roasted walnut, rocking on the brink. Yes, Dean, you're absolutely right. It's moving. There's a volcano down beneath the city. Let's go over to Long Beach. Look at Long Beach. I've been in Long Beach. Guys, we see tremors here. We see minor earthquakes as well, 2.0 to 2.6 earthquakes. 2.0 to 2.6 earthquakes here. Yes, we have tremors 1.0 to 1.9, but we are also seeing some 2.0, 2.6 earthquakes here today. Yes, here in Long Beach, we've seen 3.0 and large earthquakes here. I believe that's coming as well. This shows an increase in seismic activity here. Now I want to look specifically at one location here. Actually, a couple. On this red line here, this would be after 6:30, actually after 5:15 this morning. 6:15, I'm sorry, 6:15 this morning on this red line. Those are 2.7, 2.8 earthquakes there. 2.7, 2.8 earthquakes lasting nearly 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That's huge. That's huge. How about on that blue line after 8:30 this morning? Right there. About 8:41 this morning. 8:41 this morning on this blue line. 2.5, 2.7 earthquakes here, lasting upwards of 2.5 minutes here. 2.5 minutes worth of shaking there. Yes, it's minor earthquakes. Nobody feels it. Nobody feels it. However, it's ongoing. It's ongoing. Look over here at 11:30 in the morning on the blue line. Over here on the left-hand side, all these lines here are showing activity here. Lots of activity. 2.7, 2.8 activity. Then we come down here to 2:30. 2.9, 3.0 earthquakes. 2.9, 3.0 earthquakes beginning about 2:32, 2:33 this morning, lasting this afternoon, 2:32 to 2:35 this afternoon. 2.9, 3.0 earthquakes here. Then more tremors and minor earthquakes, 2.0 to 2.3 earthquakes here. Look at that. All kinds of shaking here in Long Beach. All kinds of shaking here in Long Beach. I guess Don Patoka has to leave, guys. Don, have a nice evening. Thank you for being here, brother. Don is one of my dearest friends. He's one of our moderators here on the channel. We've been friends for a lot of years. God bless you, Don. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Long Beach is shaking. It's not the only place. Not the only place. Let's go over to Anaheim. Let's go over to Anaheim. Look at this. Anaheim also showing a bunch of tremors. Usually it's larger than that. Here in Anaheim, we usually have nothing but minor earthquakes and occasionally 3.0 earthquake. Today you see tremors here. You see 2.7, 2.8 earthquakes. Look at the top, the second line on the top here. 5:35, actually 5:34 this morning. Nearly 3.0 earthquake, 2.9, 3.0 earthquake here. More tremors, minor earthquakes to come. Then we jump down here to 10 a.m. this morning on the black line. We come over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10:35 this morning. 2.9, 3.0 earthquakes. Then on the red line just beneath it. On the red line just beneath it on the left-hand side is 10:15. This is 10, I want to say 10:22 this morning. 10:22 this morning, we have 2.9, 3.0 earthquake again. That earthquake lasted over a minute. Lasted over a minute. Then over here on the right-hand side on the red line here, after 12:44 this afternoon. 12:44 this afternoon, we have a 2.9, 3.0 sequence again, last over a minute. Over a minute. Now, guys, Disneyland opened after 9 a.m. this morning, which means they had to close or stop the rides at Disneyland. The rides, I'm talking the roller coasters in Disneyland. They had to stop and inspect the roller coasters to make sure there was not any damage. Anything over a 3.0 earthquake, Disneyland has to stop and inspect it. Not just Disneyland, but Knott's Berry Farm as well. Anaheim is moving. And I believe in the coming days, and I'm going to watch this carefully, in the coming days we probably have over 3.0 earthquake activity here in Anaheim, California. I'll be watching and reporting on it. Okay? That's happening. That's happening here in Anaheim. I want to go over Watts, East Los Angeles. Let's take a look at Watts. In years past, Watts has seen some minor tremors and earthquakes as well. Here in Watts, we see nothing but tremors here today. Nothing but tremors here in East Los Angeles. I believe they tried to have a 2.0 earthquake here this afternoon. It didn't happen. It might have been a 1.5, 1.9 tremor. That's the best I got out of here in Watts, Los Angeles. You don't want to be in Watts, guys. If you guys have been here long enough, you may have heard me talk about being here in Watts in Los Angeles and not being safe here. I stopped in at a 7-Eleven store to get directions to a highway, and the 7-Eleven clerk says, "White guy doesn't belong here. Get out of Dodge." They weren't even willing to give me directions out of Watts. Get out of here. You don't belong here. Get out of here. You don't belong here. They warned me. Gang territory in Watts, Los Angeles. Not a nice place for a white guy to be. Okay? Watts, Los Angeles. Let's see here. I want to show you also that place over in Ivy Glen. Ivy Glen north of Elsinore. Ivy Glen north of Elsinore. Look at this. Look at all these earthquakes here on the Elsinore Fault. Look at all the earthquakes on the Elsinore Fault today. Yes, they had some tremors. They also had all kinds of minor earthquakes here. Literally all kinds of minor earthquakes here. However, this afternoon, and this may have happened earlier today as well. Actually, let's go over here. After 10:37 this morning, actually 10:36 this morning on the blue line here. See that blue line? That may have been a 3.0 earthquake there. After 9:32 this morning on the left-hand side of the blue line, that might have been that'd be 9:31 this morning. That might have been a 3.0 earthquake as well. But down here after 2:45 here, on this green line on the left, that'd be 2:45. Over here on this green line here, this is 2:57 p.m. this afternoon. 3.0 earthquake here. Maybe even 3.2 in Glen Ivy on the Elsinore Fault, Orange County. Orange County on the Elsinore Fault, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. This area hardly ever moved before. Now it's moving. The area just north of Lake Elsinore is moving in a big way. We're having 3.0 earthquakes here. We're having a lot of 3.0 earthquakes. This may get larger here. This may be getting larger very soon. We're going to watch Glen Ivy especially. Let's keep going. Okay? I want to go into San Diego County. This is San Diego City. This seismogram comes from the San Diego Gas and Electric Office north of San Diego City. Yes, San Diego Gas and Electric office is actually in San Diego City, but this is north of downtown. This is north of Mission Valley, where the shopping center is. Look at the increased number of tremors here. This is an increase of tremors here in Mission Valley. This is huge. Yes, they had tiny 1.0 tremors and even microquakes here before. Yes, the microquakes are continued. However, they've had an increase in minor tremor activity here in the city of San Diego. It's moving. Now, I believe tomorrow I'm going to have a chance in the morning to take a look at seismograms from Scripps Institute of Technology. Actually, it's not Scripps Institute of Technology, it's Scripps Institute of Oceanography. They control the seismographs that are here in San Diego City. I'm going to take a look at it because I have a feeling that more is happening than just here in Mission Valley. I'll let you know what I find out. Let's go east to Imperial Valley. This is where it really changes, guys. This is where the rubber hits the road. Imperial Valley. As I said, I want to take you over to North Shore of Salton Sea, on the northeast side of Salton Sea. Look at this. This is right smack dab on the San Andreas Fault. Right smack dab on the San Andreas Fault. We're having long duration tremor activity. Not big tremors. These are 1.2, 1.3 tremors here at North Shore of Salton Sea. Then let's go down south. Bombay Beach. Bombay Beach. Look what's happening here. Every day of every year. Every day of every week and every week of every year. Earthquakes. 3.0, 3.5, or maybe even larger than that. That's what we're seeing here. That's what we're seeing here, guys. No joke. Up here, the top line. The top black line is 4 a.m. this morning. Go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes later. 3 minutes later. 3 minutes after 4 a.m. 4:03. Tremor activity. 4:04 more tremor activity. 4:05 is a different story. We get up to 1.8 tremors. After that, we get up to 3.0 earthquakes and larger. The top and the bottom of this sequence have been cut off. That means this was at least a 3.5 earthquake. At least a 3.5 earthquake. The primary waves here lasted 2 minutes. We have a secondary wave that lasted 1 3/4 minutes. This earthquake is at least a 3.5 earthquake. Then again, after 6:02, 6:02, 6:03, 6:04, 6:05, 3 minutes. 3 minutes worth of shaking here. 3.5, 4.0 earthquake. 3.5, 3.4 earthquake. Or 3.5, 4.0 earthquake here. 3.5, 4.0 earthquake here. Not a joke. We've gone from a small to possibly a moderate earthquake here at Bombay Beach. Then after 7:15 on the right, on the center here, on the red line, we go over here. This is approximately 7:23 this morning. This is a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. It built up in seismicity from tremors on both sides. Tremors on the left building up to the 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. On the right, we had a downgrade of secondary wave. Secondary wave in this case lasted 2 minutes. 2 minute secondary wave. This is at least a 2.8, 2.9, possibly even a 3.0 earthquake. Possibly a 3.0 earthquake here. Look at all these other 3.0 or 3.5, 4.0 earthquakes here. Look at that. This happens all day long. This happens all day long. I pulled this earthquake seismogram here after approximately 5 p.m. today. 5 p.m. today. The ground is shaking here. Bombay Beach. 3.5 to 4.0 earthquakes here every day. This doesn't just occur on one day and go away the next. For those of you that have been with me a long time, you know you've seen this here before. I've showed it to you. Every day here at Bombay Beach. Let's go south to Calipatria. I just love to show you earthquakes at Calipatria. This is a USGS seismograph. The other seismograms came from Caltech, California Institute of Technology. This is USGS seismograph. Look at the earthquakes here. Up here at the top. We have about 30 earthquakes. This seismograph starts at 3 p.m. yesterday afternoon. From 3 p.m. yesterday afternoon until approximately, I'm going to take this down to midnight. There are at least 30 earthquakes right here. 30 earthquakes right here. You see these red lines here? These red lines are computer generated to get the attention of the seismologist. They're getting the attention of the seismologist. Hey, look at this. It's an earthquake. You need to pay attention to this. These earthquakes are 2.6, 2.7 earthquakes. Then at approximately at approximately 9:49 a.m. or 9:49 p.m. last night. Look at that one red line there. That red line covering the blue. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. Might have been larger than that. Then you see more earthquakes here. You see more earthquakes here. Fewer earthquakes than before, but you still see earthquakes here. They only turn this seismogram down for a short time. They only turn it down for a short time. They may have blocked out several earthquakes here. They shut the seismograph down about 10:15, 10:45. Then they turn it up later in the morning. In this case, I believe they turned it up after 4 a.m. this morning. We had about 15 or 20 earthquakes between 10:30 last night and 4 a.m. this morning. Then look at all these earthquakes throughout the day today. Look at all these earthquakes today. As I said before, here in Calipatria, we have anywhere from 75 to 150 earthquakes a day. 75 to 150 earthquakes a day. Notice on several of these earthquakes today, this afternoon, the top and the bottom of these sequences have been cut off. These sequences only last about 10 or 15 seconds. But again, they were cut off. These probably were 3.0 earthquakes. They probably were 3.0 earthquakes here. Again, they don't want to tell the truth here. They never do. On this seismogram alone, we have at least 100 earthquakes. As I said, on a typical day here at Calipatria, we have 75 to 150 earthquakes every day. Every day. This is still a lot of earthquakes here. A lot. Over 100 earthquakes here at Calipatria today. At least 100 earthquakes. That's a ton. And yet the USGS on the map doesn't show any, not a single one. You see all these minor earthquakes here, and possibly even a 3.0 earthquake here at Calipatria, and they're still not showing them all. They never do. So I show you Bombay Beach and Calipatria. Let's drop down to the town of Imperial. The town of Imperial today. Look at this. Look at this. After 5:30 this morning on the blue line, come over here to about 5:40 this morning. Have a lot of tremors, don't we? Lots and lots of tremors. On the next green line, more tremors, but not so much. Then what happens? After 6 a.m., we start seeing some tremor activity. 6:03, 6:04. Starting at 6:04 this morning in the town of Imperial, we had at least 3.03.5 activity. 3.03.5 activity. Notice that the top and the bottom of this seismic sequence has been cut off. This was at least a 3.5 earthquake here. This is at least a 3.5 earthquake. Why did they not show it here on the USGS map that I showed you? 3.5 earthquake, this lasted for 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes, actually. 2.5 minutes. Look at the secondary wave. It lasted 2.5 minutes as well. That means this earthquake was at least a 3.5, possibly even a 4.0 earthquake. 4.0 moderate earthquake here in the town of Imperial today. Not a joke. This is real. Later this morning, we had some more seismic activity on this green line here. The green line here on the left-hand side, we use 745. Over here now, we're talking about 752, 753. Minor earthquakes again. 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 earthquakes here. Look at that. The town of Imperial was shaking today. It was shaking. Let's drop down to El Centro. One of our I shouldn't say old, one of our own EMA family members, Juanito, lives here in El Centro. Juanito, if you are here, welcome. Well, I know Juanito watches this channel all the time. Juanito, my friend, you have multiple 3.0 earthquakes here. By multiple, I'm talking 20 plus 3.0 earthquakes here. 20 plus 3.0 small earthquakes here. Some of these earthquakes may have been 3.4, 3.5. I'm just saying. Now look at these wavy lines connecting some of these earthquakes. Not all, but connecting some of them. These wavy lines are typical of the seismograph detecting magma beneath the surface. Detecting magma beneath the surface. That means several of these 3 small 0.0 earthquakes are tied to magma, headed towards the Salton Butte volcano. Headed toward the Salton Butte volcano. The Salton Butte volcano is down beneath the ground, down beneath the southern side of the Salton Sea. The southern end of the Salton Sea, that's where the Salton Butte volcano is. These wavy lines here between the earthquakes are showing us magma traveling beneath the surface of the earth we walk on here in the Imperial Valley. This is happening, guys. Not all, but some of them. Not all of these 3.0 earthquakes are tied to magma, but some of them are. Okay. You also need to know just east of El Centro is what? The San Andreas Fault. The San Andreas Fault is just east of El Centro. So yes, some of this seismic activity is tied to the San Andreas Fault. Also, what is a second name that they call the San Andreas Fault here? Here, once it enters the Imperial Valley to the north of the Salton Sea, it becomes the Imperial Fault. So technically, while the San Andreas Fault is here in the Imperial Valley, it's called what? The Imperial Fault. We're having earthquakes here. Lots and lots of earthquakes. But not to be outdone, there's one other location we want to show you here. No joke. No joke, guys. Holtville. Holtville. I showed you Holtville on the USGS map. Look at the tremors and the earthquakes that are happening here. Lots and lots of tremors. We also happen to see at least a couple 2.0, 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes here. Yeah. So we're seeing tremors and minor earthquakes here in Holtville. In days and weeks past, we've seen 3.0 earthquakes here in Holtville. Holtville is just east of the San Andreas Fault here. So a lot of these earthquakes can be tied to the San Andreas Fault. Be advised. There are also ancillary faults here in the Imperial Valley. Ancillary faults that can be triggered by the San Andreas Fault. The Imperial Valley is moving, guys. That's what I'm saying. The Imperial Valley is moving. Not a joke. This is real. This is real. Any questions here? Any questions here about earthquakes in Southern California? This is no joke. There has been an uptick in earthquakes here in Southern California. There's been an uptick in earthquakes here in Southern California. There's going to be more. There's going to be more. My buddy Sage Pup is here. Sage Pup is over in Santa Barbara. My gosh, Sage Pup, it's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Yeah, guys, wave to Juanito. Maybe you'll see us here. Juanito is a very dear friend. Last year, Juanito and his wife sent us some Christmas presents and sent us Christmas presents for our puppy dogs. And Juanito, if you're listening or watching, guess what? Our dogs are still playing with those toys. They haven't torn them apart. They love your presents that you gave them. They really do. They think very highly of these toys. They're great toys. And thank you for giving them up to Crystal and Holly. It's a great thing. Appreciate it. Demon Catman, I don't know whether you saw earlier, I showed your card that you and the lovely lady sent us. You and Jasmine sent us. This is the card that Jasmine and Dean sent us from England. I love these trains, Dean. These trains mean a great deal to me. I'm probably going to put this behind a photo frame and hang this on my wall. I love trains. I love trains. Thank you all for your cards and letters. I appreciate it very much. I really do. Aubrey's talking about a fusion physicist murder from earlier today. Yes, he was. I think it was MIT, if I'm not mistaken. He was a nuclear physicist from MIT. Unreal. Uncotton picking real. Shouldn't have happened. It should not have happened. His name was Just a second, I'll get it for you. He was shot. Just a second. Aubrey, appreciate you telling us about it. I thought about showing this to you, and since you guys mentioned, I'm going to show it to you in just a second here. He was actually a professor at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. A professor at MIT. Let me show you his picture here. That's him right there. Let's talk about him for just a second. I think this is important. Okay. Investigators are trying to move quickly to get more information about what happened. This happened in the suburb community of Brookline. It's a violent crime. Here in this area, violent crime is rare. It's shaky. Brookline Police Chief Jennifer Pastor said the department will have a police presence in the neighborhood as the investigation continues. The Brookline Police Department remains committed to pursuing justice and ensuring the safety of our community. The university said Loureiro, Loureiro, was a faculty member at the Departments of Nuclear Science and Engineering and Physics. He was a nuclear physics person. He was also director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. Loureiro, Loureiro, is native of Portugal. He wanted to become a scientist since his childhood, according to MIT. The accomplished scientist joined MIT's faculty in 2016 and quickly became known as an imaginative scholar, a gifted administrator, and an enthusiastic mentor. MIT President Sally Kornbluth said in a statement, quote, "In the face of this shocking loss, our hearts go out to his wife and their family, and to his many devoted students, friends, and colleagues. This shocking loss for our community comes in a period of disturbing violence in many other places. It's entirely natural to feel the need for comfort and support. In time, the many communities Nuno belonged to will create opportunities to mourn his loss and celebrate his life." U.S. Ambassador to Portugal John J. Arrigo said in a statement, quote, "I extend my deepest condolences to his family, his friends and colleagues of Nuno Loureiro, who led MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Centers. We honor his life, his leadership in science, and his enduring contributions. Mr. Loureiro, we appreciate you. I'm so sorry, and we are all so sorry for your family's loss and your extended family over to MIT. May God bless each and every one of you. And also, we want to thank you for your service to our community. God bless all of your family and those that cared about you. God bless all of you." Thank you, Aubrey, for telling us about that again. I was going to talk about it, I completely forgot today. Got tied up with other things. Pcaific, you're absolutely right. We live in a wicked-minded society. If you are saying something or talking about something somebody doesn't like, they just eliminate you, thinking thinking what you're going to say is going to stop. It's not. Your knowledge and power is going to continue. Your knowledge and thoughts are going to continue in your colleagues, your students, and all other people. Your memory is not going to die. It's going to continue. It's sad. It's very sad. Those of you who want to make contributions to this program, you see our PayPal addresses scrolling by on the bottom of your screen. Two different PayPal locations here. We appreciate it. Also, if you want to make donations, you can do so through cards and letters, and put the donation inside your card or letter and send it to us to 504 Bethel Road, Box 401. Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. Our email address, rltnspdema@gmail.com. Why is this important? Guys, what I'd like you to do between now and Christmas Eve, do it as soon as possible if you can. We'd like to know what you do for Christmas activities with your family before Christmas and on Christmas. Please send us email or send us a letter, a card to us telling how you celebrate Christmas with your family. We'd love to share that with our family here, our extended EMA family here on our Christmas Eve program. Our Christmas Eve program. Yes, we do about a half hour, 40-minute message on Christmas Eve. Tell us about your family. Tell us about your treats and other things that you have to eat. I'm going to show you activities that we have here with our family. We're going to be doing some baking within the next few days. I want to share that information with you. I want to show what we do. I think I showed a tree here that we have here in our house. I'll show another tree here very shortly. May God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. We love you. This is a celebration of Jesus Christ's birth. Please remember that. Let's make this a spiritual preparedness Christmas. Let's make sure this is a spiritual and preparedness Christmas. Share preparedness gifts with your family and your friends. Share your spiritual testimonies of our Savior with your family and friends. Let's make this a gifted Christmas, guys. I witness to you that I know our Savior lives. I know for a fact that our Savior lives and guides and directs each and every one of us today. I love him. I love him. Thank you all for your contributions to our program tonight. Thank you for being here with us. And may God bless each and every one of you. If anything else happens tonight or in the morning, we'll be back on there to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, I hope you have a blessed night. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Have a good night, guys. God bless. See you soon. Enjoy. Be safe. Take care.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright.